In the sweltering heat of a Chicago summer in 1924, two young men, Leopold and Richard Loeb, set into motion a plan that would shock the city and captivate the nation. Both were from affluent families, intelligent and well-educated, with a sense of invincibility that came from privilege and intellectual arrogance. They saw themselves as superior beings, above the rules that govern ordinary people, and this inflated self-perception would soon lead them down a dark path. Leopold, a 19-year-old law student at the University of Chicago, was fascinated by philosophy, particularly Nietzsche's idea of the Übermensch or Superman, a figure who operated beyond conventional morality. Leopold was enthralled by the notion of being exceptional, above good and evil. His friend, Richard Loeb, was equally privileged and just as intelligent. At 18, Loeb was the youngest graduate from the University of Michigan. Despite his outward charm, he shared Leopold's sense of detachment from morality and an almost obsessive fascination with crime, thrill-seeking, and intellectual games. One day, they devised a plan to commit the perfect crime, an act that would affirm their exceptionalism. They decided on murder, believing it would prove their superiority and give them a thrill like no other. Their victim would be someone unremarkable, someone who wouldn't matter to them, just a pawn in their psychological game. On May 21, 1924, they set their plan in motion. They selected 14-year-old Bobby Franks, a distant cousin of Loeb's, as their target. That afternoon, they lured Bobby into their car by offering him a ride. Once he was inside, they struck quickly, killing him in the backseat and dumping his body in a remote culvert in a nearby suburb. To add to the illusion of a perfect crime, they sent a ransom note to the Franks family, hoping to throw off investigators. But their plan began to unravel almost immediately. Despite their intelligence, they made a crucial mistake. Leopold dropped a distinctive pair of eyeglasses at the crime scene. These glasses, with a rare hinge design, quickly led investigators to Leopold. Under intense interrogation, both he and Loeb eventually confessed, and their shocking rationale came to light. The trial that followed was one of the most sensational in American history. Their defense attorney, Clarence Darrow, argued against the death penalty by highlighting their young ages and attempting to prove that they suffered from psychological disorders that affected their moral judgment. Darrow spoke passionately about the boys' upbringing, privilege, and warped sense of superiority. His argument was groundbreaking at the time, focusing not on their innocence but on their state of mind and psychological motives. He claimed that they were the product of a societal system that had failed them. Darrow's arguments succeeded in sparing Leopold and Loeb from execution, and they were instead sentenced to life in prison.